Hey everyone, welcome back to Wix Fix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Ryan, and in today's video, we're going to be having some fun with these scroll animations and moving elements left to right when the user scrolls on your website. Let's go ahead and get started. So the idea of this video is to kind of use scroll effects and setting elements to sticky to create a really cool scrolling animation effect when the user scrolls down your website. So in order to do this, what I'm going to do first is expand this section down because we are going to need a lot of space. In fact, I'm just probably going to set a height of like 2000 pixels for now. Then what I want to do is go ahead and add a little title here. And maybe what I want to do is display different blog posts. So I can say, check out our latest blogs, something like this. And then underneath that, let's go ahead and add a repeater. So we're going to come down to add layouts and go down to repeaters, and we'll just drag this one out right here. I want to start by setting this to be about, to kind of start near our text element here. But I basically want to set the width to be about the same width that I'm currently editing on, which is 1280. So let's go ahead and set the width to 1280. On top of that, let's go ahead and grab the section because we don't want there to be some weird scroll effect on our website. So we're going to grab the section, come down to overflow content and set it to hide. That's going to prevent any weird sideways scrolling on our website that we don't want. Also, if I go ahead and grab this repeater, maybe we want to have 4 items. And let's go ahead and set a gap of like 40 pixels. On top of that, let's set the alignment to the start and not the center. And what we're going to do is maybe expand this out a little bit, just like this. Great. So because this is a blog post, what we're going to want to do is kind of design this with an image and maybe the title of the blog post. Since this is just kind of like an example video, I'm not going to be super in depth, so I'm just going to kind of edit the container to look something like this. Then inside we can add an image and we can round the edges. And then let's just go ahead and add a easy little title here. But we can of course adjust the size so it's not really long. And for these, I'm just going to paste in some lorem ipsum, but we can adjust the size just a little bit more to something like this. And then let's also change out the images real quick. Great. Now let's go ahead and resize these just a little bit. And let's also grab the repeater and add one more item. And we can just change this image real quick. So now what I want to do is grab the repeater and this text. We'll stack them together. And what I want to do is we'll notice that we have a docking size of 7.5. And what I want to do is just bump this up to 100. And what we're going to do is with this stack selected, we're going to set the position type to sticky. And we're going to set the offset to 100 pixels. So now when we preview the website and we scroll down, this is going to be sticky just like this until we hit the bottom of the section. But now what I want to do is as the user is scrolling down, I want this repeater to move left. So what we're going to do is come back into the editor. We're going to grab the repeater. We're going to come to interactions and we're going to add a scroll interaction. Let's go ahead and choose the move option here. And we're going to go into adjustments. For the angle, we want this to move towards the left. And for the distance, we want it to move quite a bit. So what we're going to do is set this to a percentage. And maybe we'll set this to like 200. Something like this should look pretty good. For the animation area, we don't want it to animate immediately. So we're gonna need to move the starting point to maybe about 25%. And we want it to finish animating once we hit the bottom of the section, which is 100. So let's come back up to the top. Let's go ahead and preview again. And let's go ahead and start scrolling down. And as you noticed, it's not doing exactly what I was intending because I actually did forget a small step in this. And that is to click the repeater. We want to open this up again, and we want to move it from its design, not to its design. So it should start where it is, and then the animation settings that we have basically applied should move from its design. So once we switched it from the design, we now need to come in here and basically change everything again. So I want to set this to 200%, and we want it to be about 25 to 100%. And these settings we might need to tweak, but let's just go ahead and scroll up a little bit and scroll down. Okay, this might look a little bit different in preview once everything is sticky how we intended. Okay, so once we're here, it starts animating. I kind of want it to start animating right here, right when the stack starts to be sticky. So we basically need to mess with these settings here for this little start area. So let's just see what 50% does. Okay, let's go back into preview. And we almost get to where it sticks before it starts moving. Then when the section runs out, it moves up. But another thing is I don't want it to move completely off the screen. I kind of want it to stop right about here. So 200% probably isn't going to work. So let's go back into the settings, press adjust, and instead of 200%, let's just move it 100%, and then let's start the animation maybe around 60 and see what that does. So once we preview the design and we scroll down a little bit, this is basically what it looks like. Again, I think for the most part, this looks really good. The only thing is I kind of want to change is I want to kind of stop right about here, or maybe somewhere in between here and here. I don't really want to stop all the way over there. That's pretty far. So let's go back into the settings, press adjust, and maybe we just do 50%, just like this. Let's come back up to the top. We can kind of preview it here, but it's kind of hard to preview it because in the editor, there is no sticky position. So it's kind of hard to see where it stops. So let's just go ahead and preview it again. And it stops right about there. Okay, so I think that looks really, really good. So we scroll down, it moves to the side, and then it continues to scroll down once we hit the bottom of the section. And I think this is a really cool way to display different blog posts on your website, or anything like in this kind of list kind of thing right here. I think this looks pretty cool. But I will say with scroll effects, you are probably going to have to guess and check a little bit. And as you can see just from this process, it did take me a few tries to actually get to where I was trying to get the interaction. And that's perfectly fine. I think that's pretty normal, especially with these really cool interactions. You typically rarely ever get it exactly right on the first attempt. But regardless, I think this is a really cool effect that we can now do inside of Wix Studio. But that's basically gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you all did enjoy, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel for more Wix Studio content coming out really soon. Thank you all again, and I'll see you on the next one.